Alright, so yesterday, which was Saturday in my time, we went over to my buddy Will's house. He is very knowledgeable when it comes to plants and things like that, but he also loves mushrooms and foraging mushrooms. So we went out there yesterday and we inoculated a whole bunch of logs, okay? The logs I have here are the cold shiitakes. We did cold shiitakes, warm shiitakes, and then this other one that I cannot remember the name of it. But it's a little bit different one. It's one that he's trying. He says it's a little bit harder to grow. So I've done this one other time before. We went last year, and unfortunately they did not produce anything for me. Honestly, if you look at them real close, you see like my logs where we inoculated them. It's like they got eaten out. You know, something just kind of ate them. Some are still covered up with wax, so I'm not going to move these logs. I'm just going to let them stay here and decompose and do maybe something will come from them. But you can also see they only have 4 logs here. A lot more logs now. I put them down here because this is a very moist area. Not as much sun reaches right here. This year I'm going to try a little something different. Alright, so over here I have my wicking beds. If you don't know what a wicking bed is, basically there's rocks on the bottom, a layer, dirt. You fill the bottom part up with water. The water wicks up and feeds your plants from the ground up rather than always water from the top up. They've done well. I just didn't do anything with them this past year, and I don't have a plan to do anything with them this year. This one right here has strawberries in it, and they're still alive. So I'm going to keep that one here, but this one, nothing's growing in it. I just realized that my camera slowly kept falling. It's like, oh my god! Okay, this one has strawberries in it. This one has nothing in it. I'm going to move this one and set some logs here because where this is on my property, the ground holds decent moisture and it doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. So I feel like even if I needed to kind of just like spritz the logs to keep them wet or moist and stuff, maybe that'll work. And then I'm also going to try a different spot. So Reggie. This is my hugelkultur bed that I built a couple of years ago. One of the first things I built out here as well. I have never planted anything in it because the logs that I put in there to break down, they were pretty large. So I've just been waiting and slowly putting soil on it, limbs, leaves, all the good stuff. But I think this year might actually be the year that we plant, you know, this might be a good one just for our tomatoes or something like that, right? Because again, I'm not planning on doing like a big garden, but I still want to grow some things. Over here, I put some ground covering down because I'm going to do some stuff in there as well. Just simple stuff, you know, just for ourselves. Things that I know I want to can, like tomatoes and things like that. But yeah, I'm very proud of that thing. That's awesome. Alright, so we got our logs moved, and there are 2 spots. So the first spot said it's up here where I had that wicking bed. The second spot is a little bit further down on the chicken, by the chicken pen. And the reason I did 2 different spots is because, if you don't know, I like to test different things and see what works best in my area. It's like when you're starting a garden, you want to kind of watch your little microclimate and see like where the sun hits the most and where the water runs and stuff like that. So that's basically what I'm doing. I have 14 logs, 7 in the one spot, 7 in the other. Now, I have them on pallets first. The reason that we have them on pallets first is so that the mycelium of the shiitake, the cold shiitakes that we put in the logs, basically have time to take over that log. Like if you put them on the ground, the chances of wild mushrooms taking over the log first are a lot higher. So that's why you sit them on the log. You sit them on the logs long enough for that mycelium to take over. Will said that you'll see it on the ends, basically when the ends turn white. Now, one thing we did do different this year that we didn't do last year is we did wax the ends of the logs. He said that's going to make it a lot easier to see when that mycelium takes over. So I can't tell you like 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, whatever. It really depends on how well we inoculated them, the weather, all that stuff. So hopefully things work out, but as soon as I start seeing the logs turn white on the ends, then that's when we'll transfer them actually to the ground so that they can, the mycelium and everything will start to have more nutrients and things to eat to take over the logs, and logs will break down a little bit faster, stuff like that. So I like doing this stuff. I like learning, the new stuff, and it was also fun, going over there, hanging out there. Right, it was a beautiful day, sunny, got a little sunburnt and stuff, but a lot of new people I got to meet, and it was wonderful. That's my kind of Saturday, when you can just be around like doing and learning new things, like when you're doing chicken butcherings, log inoculations. It's like, it's one of my favorite things to do, just being around, or cooking. I enjoy cooking too. So yeah, it was a good time. So we're gonna test these out. I hope these do a lot better than my other logs. But I don't know if you can tell, Reggie, I was already a little interested in the ones I put up here, so I have to make sure he doesn't try to go through the fence and start gnawing on the wood, because he is still like a little bit of a puppy. And yeah, so it'd be good. Can't wait to see what happens. And so appreciate you hanging out with us.